It threatens our democracy and our rights to reproductive health care and puts absolute fundamental programs like Social Security and Medicaid on the chopping block. I trust Vice President Harris and Governor Walz to fight for families like mine and families like ours. But friends, this election isn't just about what's happening at the top of the ballot. Every single race matters because we are all fighting for health care, for education. Our fundamental rights are all on the line. From the top of the ballot to the bottom, we need every one of you in this fight with us. Our kids are watching, and we owe it to them to stand up, show up, vote, and demand a future that works for everybody. So thank you for being here today and for caring so much and believing in a brighter future. Let's keep fighting through November for each other, for our communities, and the future that our children deserve. Yeah.
Hello. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Wani Romero, and I'm the owner and CEO of Las Vegas' own Mothership Coffee. This election is historic for me, for my family, and for my community. To see someone who has fought fearlessly for the U.S. as our next president gives me hope. Hope for myself and for my daughters that our futures will be protected. Vice President Harris is fighting for a new way forward that protects our fundamental freedoms, strengthens our democracy, and ensures every person has the opportunity to not just get by, but to get ahead. Like me, she grew up in a middle-class home as a daughter of a working immigrant mom. Like me, she believes that when the middle class is strong, America is strong. And as president, she'll stay rooted in her upbringing and driven by this pledge by bringing down costs and taking on corporate greed. By cutting taxes for working and middle-class families and helping small businesses and entrepreneurs thrive, people like me, and small businesses all across Nevada. I've seen Kamala Harris' leadership at work and how her policies helped my business during the pandemic, and I know that the Harris-Walz ticket will do everything it can to support entrepreneurs going forward. In fact, her plan is simple. She'll expand tax relief for people starting new businesses, and she'll cut red tape so it's easier to do so. This is just one part of her plan to build an opportunity economy, one that ensures everyone has a chance to compete and a chance to succeed. And it's because of this positive vision and the character and story of the woman behind it that my decision for this election is simple. For my business, for my community, and for my daughters, a vote for Kamala Harris is a vote for our future. And now, it is my distinct honor to welcome another champion of our community to the stage, a man who is a huge Kamala Harris fan himself, Second Gentleman of the United States, Doug Emhoff.
How's it going, everyone? She says she's not going back, but I'm happy to be back here. Thank you, Wani. Where are you? Good job. Thank you for that. And thank you, Democrats. Thank you for being here. Thanks for all the work that you're doing. You do? Aw, thanks. This week, okay. I'll tell her. It's good to be here. We got a lot of great candidates right here, and we got to send Jackie Rosen back to the Senate. Susie Lee back to the House. And Jennifer Atlas to the State Senate. She said she's knocking on 100 doors a day in this heat. That's a lot. Good. We got to send her there. And just a little bit on the fires. Being a Californian, I know full well what you're going through. My brother just retired as a firefighter for decades, and so I know what the firefighters here are going through because I lived it as a family member. So thanks to them, and I get it. Okay, we are just 54 days from Election Day. And the way I've been thinking about it is if this was one of those streaming shows that we all love, we're about halfway through the season. So I guess it's time for an episode recap. All right, July 21st. That's when Kamala Harris stepped into the breach. When President Biden stepped aside, we love President Biden, we face an unprecedented moment in American politics, something that had never happened before, maybe never will. So at that particular time, we needed a leader. We needed somebody to step up, and Kamala Harris stepped up and met that moment. Now, everything happened very fast, so let's pause a little bit to think about all that she's accomplished. In the month before the convention, Kamala united the party, earned the nomination, picked an amazing VP candidate in Governor Tim Walz, who is a defensive coordinator who is ready to go on offense with her against Donald Trump. I'm testing some of these out. No, that's not a good one. All right. We'll take that one out. No, you liked it? All right. I want to keep it fresh. Okay. Then on August 22nd, thank you. August 22nd, which happened to be our 10-year wedding anniversary, she gave the speech of her life at the Democratic National Convention. She showed us who she was. She showed us the leader that she is. And she also painted a vision for a future in which there's a place for all of us in. That was that speech. And then that brings us to 2 nights ago now. I'm losing track of time. September 10th, just 2 nights ago. The debate. So I was going around for the few days before the debate, doing these types of events, telling everyone she is ready. She's going to be ready. She's going to look him in the eye. She smells weakness. She can see a coward. I said all that. I guess I was right. And we had an interesting couple of days getting, as she was getting ready, including a romantic walk on an airport tarmac in Pittsburgh. That was like the only couple time we got to spend together. Otherwise, she was just getting ready. And when we were on that walk, there was still a bunch of press around, even though we were trying to have a nice little couple moment. And all she said to the press was, "Are you ready for the debate?" And she just looked at them. "I'm ready." She was locked in. She was. And I knew she was going to crush it. And you're not supposed to say that, but of course I was saying that right before the debate. And look at how she took the stage. Strength, confidence, walked right up to that dude. He was like, whoa, what's going on? And she said, hi, I'm Kamala Harris. And remember a couple of weeks ago at one of her big rallies, she said, if you got something to say it to my face. He got his chance. He didn't even have the courage to look at her once. He didn't even have the courage to say it to her face. He couldn't even look at her. But she looked him right in the eyes. She called him what he is, a disgrace. And she told him that world leaders are laughing at him because they are. She revealed Trump for what he really is. He's weak, he's a fraud, and on everything. He didn't have one substantive plan. He had nothing. Nothing but lies and gaslighting. That's all he had. And talking about pets. But she showed the world that she is ready to be commander-in-chief. The contrast could not have been more clear. You literally saw it on the split screen. You saw strength with her, weakness with him. It was right there for the world to see. She's got the character and the expertise in all these issues, both domestic and international. She showed all that on the stage. And Trump again showed that he's completely weak. Trump. What did he show? What did his split screen show? He's weak, he's unhinged, and he's unfit for any job, let alone President of the United States. And now he's scared. Now you can see what happens to cowards when they get exposed. He's scared. In fact, she challenged him to another debate. Let's do it again. And what did he say today? He's not going to do it. He's too afraid. But she's going to keep bringing the fight to him. Don't worry. So in the biggest moments of this campaign so far, day one on July 21st, her big speech at the convention on our anniversary, 8/22. I can't forget that date, right? And then September 10th, she's risen to the occasion. She has exceeded incredibly high expectations each and every time, and she's going to continue to do that for the next 50 some odd days until she wins this election and we can call my wife President Kamala Harris. But since she's been there for us, she's showing us the most badass version of herself. We need to show her the most badass versions of ourselves so we can do the work, especially right here in Nevada, so we can win this state. And we win this state, we got a really good chance of winning this election, right? A little bit about myself. I'm the son of two Brooklynites, Mike and Barb. They've been together almost 70 years. They're still both around. They got to see my big speech at the DNC. I grew up in Jersey, typical Gen X suburban childhood, carpooling to baseball games. All of the parents of the other kids on the street kept their garage door open. Wherever you wound up, that's where you had dinner. Everyone looked after each other. That's the kind of childhood that I had. When I was in high school, I moved out to LA, which means I've been here a lot as your neighbor, right across. In high school, I had to make some extra money, so I worked at McDonald's. I was Employee of the Month. Yeah, right? Yeah. And we still have the photo, it's a pink Oxford. You saw that? And I actually worked full-time and went to college part-time. I went to Cal State. I wasn't able to go full-time. I worked really hard, and I graduated, and I was able to go to USC Law School and got myself through that. And I became an entertainment lawyer. I must say I was damn good at it. I was successful. I lived my dream. I miss it each and every day, but I've got something else I'm doing right now. Got married, had 2 kids, unfortunately got divorced, and then 11 or 12 years ago, I was in a client meeting, and it was kind of contentious. I helped them solve their problem, and at the end of the meeting, I had Kamala Harris's phone number. It was a blind date. And I was a little nervous about going on a blind date with Kamala Harris because I was a lawyer representing some of the biggest companies and corporations, and she was the Attorney General. And I was afraid of her as Attorney General. So I was wondering what it would be like to go on a date with Kamala Harris, and guess what? She was awesome. She was amazing. It was in the cards, and it worked out right away, and we knew we wanted to be together. And I knew once she met Cole and Ella, and they started calling her Mamala, everything was going to be great, and it was. We are partners. Like I have her back, but she also has my back. Everything we do, we're doing it together, and we support each other. And she supports our family, and the way she is for our family, that's how she's going to be for your family. And I can't wait for that. Now, her toughness is no accident. She is a daughter of California, born in Oakland, daughter of two immigrants. She was raised by her mother, single mom. Her mom, who I unfortunately never got to meet, but I feel like I know her through Kamala and how Kamala is. She never let her daughters complain about a problem. She's just said, what are you going to do about it? And so being raised like that whole ethos of see a problem, solve a problem, that comes from her upbringing. It instilled in her an ethic of hard work and responsibility that she carries to this day, and you can see it, how she's been comporting herself these last 2 months in this election. Just focus and discipline, hard work and responsibility. With this moment in history, she knew she had to step up, and did she ever? Why did she become a prosecutor, you might ask? Well, when her best friend, Wanda, was being sexually abused by her stepfather, and Kamala invited her to live with them, and that's what got her into protecting victims of crime, because she saw how devastating that was firsthand. And so when she was a frontline prosecutor in Northern California, she put away the worst of the worst. Sexual predators, murderers, rapists. She put them in jail where they belong. And you heard what she said at the debate. She never asked them if they were a Democrat or a Republican. You know what she asked them? Are you okay? That's who she is. Attorney General, you've seen the story about taking on the big banks with your senator right here when she was Attorney General, Catherine Masto, CCM. They did all that to work together. So you got another great senator here. She took on those big banks. As she mentioned in the debate, she took down transnational gangs at the border. She did that work as Attorney General. And she shut down for-profit colleges that were scamming people who just wanted an education. Her entire career solving problems. And that is going to continue when she's president. She's pro-capitalism. She called him a Marxist. What is he talking about? She's a capitalist. She's pro-growth. She's pro-innovation. She's pro-business. And she's also pro-worker. All those things can be true at the same time. And pro-union. She wants an opportunity economy where everyone has a chance to succeed. Everyone. Not just those at the top. And she has laid out very specific plans that are going to help people. She talked about them. Costs are rising, so she has a plan for a $6,000 child tax credit to help young families in those early hard years that I went through with Cole and Ella. We didn't have that. Housing, we know we need more housing. Housing is too expensive, including here. So she wants to make it easier for first-time home buyers to get that first house, like her mother did, who saved year after year with $25,000 down payment assistance. That's really going to help. And we also know the small businesses are just the heart of our economy, which, by the way, our economy is going great. It's going great, but to make it even better, let's help more small businesses open. So rather than current tax deduction is only $5,000. We know it's like $40,000 or $50,000 to open a small business. So she's going to have a $50,000 tax credit instead of $5,000 to help these businesses open. It's just common sense. So we're going to have more small business, and her economic policy has been praised, as she said, by scholars, economists, Goldman Sachs, Wharton School of Business, and everyone's talking it up. Now, what he has, in addition to more tax cuts for billionaires and the biggest corporations, many of whom who don't want it, many of whom have said, we want to pay our fair share, but he wants to help himself and his buddies. He's got tariffs, which is essentially a Trump sales tax, which they have figured is going to cost each average household $4,000. So this is hurting us, not helping us. So that's on the economy. This election, as you all know, it's a binary. Like, you know, you have two radically different choices, two different choices for the future if you go with Kamala, and just being stuck in the mud, in the past with Trump. He doesn't have solutions. You didn't hear one solution last night. He would rather run on a problem like the border, which they had a chance to fix, and he's the one who killed that border bill. He killed that. So he'd rather run on a problem than solve it. And what this response on health care. He's had 10 years now to come up with his own plan to replace the Affordable Care Act, which, by the way, is great. People love it, and it's working, and Biden and Harris have made it better. Harris-Walz will make it even better. And so he's complaining and complaining about it, and when asked, okay, what's your plan? He said, oh, I have a concept of a plan. After 10 years of complaining. That's Donald Trump. The story about the pets, by the way, that's pure racism. It's outrageous. That's what that is all about. It is racist. It's wrong. He still won't concede that he lost in 2020, including right here in Nevada. He's still complaining about it. He refused to say if he would veto a national abortion ban. Just wouldn't answer the question. He couldn't even answer if he wants Ukraine to prevail against his buddy Putin. He couldn't even answer that question. And the only character witness he can come up with the entire evening was Viktor Orban. As Kamala said right to his face again, world leaders are laughing at you. Your own military leaders say you are a disgrace. And she again said it right to his face. And we all know the only real policy plan they have is Project 2025. That's it. That's their blueprint. He pretended, I don't know Project 2025. That's BS, and we know it. His fingerprints, his team, J.D. Vance, they are all over Project 2025. That's exactly what they're running on. They can't hide from it, and don't let them fool you. Their real plan, because you saw it with the Dobbs decision, you see it with other things, they want to take your rights away, take your freedoms away, and change our very American way of life. That's what they're trying to do. They're not going to do it. We're not going to let them do it. Tim Walz says the only reason someone writes a playbook is because they intend to run the plays. Thanks, Coach. Coach knows. And they're not going to stop at abortion bans, which is in there, and that's what they're running on. Again, he refused to say he would veto an abortion ban last night. The right to marry, the right to love who you want to love, the right to contraception. We were just talking about book bans. All that stuff is at play if they win. God, they can't win. I get so angry at this stuff because it's not American. It's not us. It's not who we are as a country. And almost nobody wants this. You go around the country, blue states, red states, nobody wants this stuff. Nobody. Just these extremists. And we can't let them have it. So it gets me mad. And I was an athlete as a kid. I was a trial lawyer. I stood up for clients. And one of my mottos was to stay mad. And when I stay mad, I can channel that anger into action. So now's our time to stay mad at Project 2025. Stay mad at what Trump and Vance, that's his little sidekick, are trying to do to us. We got to stay mad at that and turn that anger into action. And just, she said a little bit of it last night. Some of it you got to laugh at. The name calling, the gaslighting, Hannibal Lecter, windmills, bacon. What's wrong with bacon, by the way? I don't know why he keeps talking about that. Don't let it distract us. So much of this nonsense is to distract us, including all the name calling and all that stuff. We're not going to let it distract us. You can't let it distract you, because every time I look at a poll or I look, hey, you're on TV all the time, or look, you're doing great, she literally takes my head and puts it right back down and said, we haven't won anything yet. Get back on that plane. Go out west. Come back east. Go out west. Go north. Go south. Because we got to win this election, and I need you to help me win this election. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to work hard. I've been working hard. I say I'm going to crawl over shards of glass, metaphorically, don't worry, and knock through walls. And I'm just not going to sleep until November 6th. Tim Walz said he's going to sleep when he's dead. I think that's extreme. I want to enjoy the fruits of this administration when they win. All right, so she literally said right after the debate, there was a big rally. Everyone's like, you crushed it, you won. She said, yeah, we won the debate, but we didn't win the election yet. So we can't get ahead of ourselves. So we have a list. So many things Michelle Obama said at the convention were great, but one thing she said was, in addition to do something, she said we basically have to vote in numbers that erase any doubt and to overwhelm any effort to suppress us. Why? Because that's what they're going to try to do. So that's why we need to run like we're 10 points behind so we can be 10 points ahead at the end. And what's so great about this campaign, when Kamala's saying she wants to be president for everyone and there's a place in our campaign for everyone, I mean, we got like AOC and now we got like Dick Cheney. So there's a big tent. We got a big tent. And now we got Taylor Swift. But let's do what Taylor says, and let's go register to vote. Because one of the greatest things about that letter, it was so awesome, was engagement. Like, none of this matters if you don't go out and exercise your right to vote. People have died for this right. People are out there right now. We have active troops. We have troops. We have veterans, we have civil rights activists, we have so many people who have bled for our flag and for our country and for this right to vote. So let's honor them all by registering. And this is for everyone out there. And almost like, look, we want you to vote for us, but just go out and register, participate in our democracy. It's the best way to do it, and it's the best way we can win this election, especially here. So vote.gov. That's got all the information, iwillvote.com. So first, get everyone out there to register and know the rules in your states. Make sure you got that locked down, and then it's just getting everyone out in our big tent, everyone out who's sick of the divisiveness, sick of the chaos, and loved what Kamala said 2 nights ago when she said we have so much more in common than what divides us. So let's take that to heart. Let's do the work. Let's hustle. Let's save our country. And you can do anything for 54 days, right? So let's get it done. Let's do the work so my wife, Kamala Harris, can become the next president of the United States. Thank you so much.